Hey guys, it's Nico the GhostRider here, and today we are going to take a look at all the most intense roller coasters I have ridden. I would like to say this is not a list based on how much I like the rides. We are just focusing on intensity. And I would like to say I consider an intense roller coaster to have extreme airtime, sustained strong positive G's, and sheer speed. If you want to see more videos, feel free to like and subscribe so I can make more content. Thank you. Superman Escape from Krypton is an Intamin reverse freefall coaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and this is honestly a very underrated roller coaster. This ride gets so much hate for the restraints and the ride duration. Ignoring the restraints and ride duration, let's focus on the ride itself. The launch and pull up into the spike will give some impressive positive G's. The weightlessness on the spike is also impressive. That being said, those are really the only intense moment on the roller coaster. As people say, it's very short, but I still think it's an intense roller coaster. I have only ridden it forwards because the backwards line was closed, but hopefully it reopens soon so I can ride Superman backwards. Silver Bullet is a B&M inverted roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm, and you guys may be surprised this is so low. I used to hate on this ride for being forceless, but it's been running so well now. I feel the positives more now. You start with the gliding curve that I don't count as a drop because it's very shallow. Ignoring the first drop, the vertical loop will pin you with positive G's till the end of the loop. Then you go into the floater airtime overbank, which will give you solid sustained floater airtime. Skipping the iconic Cobra roll, the next part I'm going to talk about is the 0G roll, which is a pretty snappy element and will make you feel weightless. Then you will be snapped or two corkscrews, which makes you feel disoriented and will make you wonder what just happened. Then you will be thrown into the most intense part of the ride, the final helix. The final helix pulls 3 seconds of positive G's, which makes your legs feel heavy and tingly. If it weren't running so well nowadays, and if I didn't ride Superman yet, I'd rank it as the least intense roller coaster on this list because I didn't feel anything other than the final helix before this upgrade. Twisted Colossus is an RMC hybrid at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and it used to be my number 1 at Six Flags Magic Mountain overall. The ejector on this ride is phenomenal. I will talk about a few mentions on the ride, which makes this one of the most intense roller coasters I have ridden. The first thing I would like to talk about is the high five element on the green side. This element gives you lateral ejector and vertical ejector, which makes this one of the most extremely aggressive elements on any roller coaster I have ridden. Next, I'll talk about the drop off the turnaround on the blue side. This element gives you extreme airtime, in which if you aren't stapled, you will leave your seat. Electric Eel is a Skyrocket 2 at SeaWorld San Diego. This ride will give you some insane positive G's and ejector airtime. You start off with the mellow launch. Then you will launch backwards, which throws you halfway through the non-inverting loop, which will make you hang there. This element gives you a lateral hanging sensation, which can be disorienting. Then you will be thrown into the most forceful launch on this roller coaster and will snap you to the highest point of the ride, which can make you clench your teeth from how forceful it is. Then you will go into the hardline roll, which gives you great hang time. Then you will be face to face with the biggest drop on this ride, which gives you incredible ejector in the back and aggressive lateral snap in any row. The only two things take this ride just a tad away from this element are the trims and the comfort colors. Overall, this ride makes you feel disoriented and dizzy upon getting off this ride. Tatsu is a B&M flyer at Six Flags Magic Mountain and is often regarded as the best flying roller coaster in North America. That being said, so many people consider Tatsu to be a very intense roller coaster, but I disagree. Before you start saying, OMG, you forgot about the pretzel loop, it's important to keep in mind I put Superman as the least intense roller coaster because it only has a few intense moments. Tatsu is in a very similar situation, but the reason Tatsu is much higher than Superman is because the pretzel loop on Tatsu is arguably one of the most intense elements in the world because it drops you head first and inverts you to the bottom of the pretzel loop, which presses you down lying on your back and throws you back into a regular flying position. I think to myself, what other roller coaster in California has a similar sensation? Okay, we are almost at that roller coaster, hold on. Other than the pretzel loop, there is nothing else on the ride that'll plaster you with positive G's. No extreme airtime and no sheer speed other than the pretzel loop. We are going into the top 5. Before I do that, I would like to warn you this next roller coaster might make you rage, so be prepared for the next one. Scream is a B&M floorless at Six Flags Magic Mountain that has a very low reputation for its theming and roughness. Ignoring the theming, the ride will throw you into the first drop and vertical loop, which gives you extreme positives that are gray out worthy. Then you will be snapped into the dive loop, and then you will be snapped through an extremely snappy 0G roll. If you're sitting on an edge seat, you feel like you're going to be thrown out of the ride. Then you will be thrown into the Cobra roll, which is okay, but doesn't do a lot. Then you'll be snapped in and out of the mid-course brake run, and then you'll be sent into an extreme helix that is gray out and possibly blackout worthy. If you are sitting on the edge seat on a hot day, you feel the heat on your face from the asphalt below you. Then you will be sent into the final interlocking corkscrews, which are both very snappy. Overall, this ride has great pacing and isn't that bad. Talking about the roughness, it's the same as any other B&M, excluding Silver Bullet, because Silver Bullet is extremely smooth. Now, the next roller coaster is also controversial, but I feel like a lot of people could see this next one as being very intense. Goliath is a Giovannola hypercoaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Okay, I realize that half this list is at Six Flags Magic Mountain, which just proves that Six Flags Magic Mountain roller coasters are extreme. Anyways, there are two elements that deliver uncomfortably intense positive G's. The two elements are at the bottom of the first drop and a very, very long helix that plasters you with positive G's that can make you gray out or black out for around 8 seconds. So basically, this ride is just an extremely intense roller coaster that makes me feel overwhelmed. Now we are going into the top 3, which is the very extreme section. Batman the Ride is a B&M invert at Six Flags Magic Mountain that has extreme moments. Unlike Goliath that delivers only 2 extreme sustained positive G moments, Batman has less sustained positive G's, but more positive G moments that are probably stronger. First, you will drop and you will be thrown into a fast vertical loop which sends strong G-force to your legs, making them feel tingly. Then you will be thrown into an extremely snappy 0G roll, which is more intense than the one on screen. Then you will be thrown into the second vertical loop, which is more forceful than the first one. Then you'll be thrown into an upwards helix that makes you gray out very fast. Then you will be thrown into 2 extremely snappy and intense corkscrews. This ride is extremely intense because it has a lot of intense moments, but these positive G's are more bearable than Goliath because they are as sustained, just stronger. But there are 2 roller coasters that I find to be more intense. The first of which is, you're not there yet, be patient, people. GhostRider is a CCI turned GCI wooden roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm that is arguably one of the most intense wooden roller coasters out there. First, you'll be thrown into a very extreme first drop, and if you're sitting in the back, you'll get insane ejector airtime. Then you will be thrown into a turn after the first drop, which glues you to the side of your seat. Then you will be sent into a camelback that gives you 4 seconds of insane floater airtime. Skipping the first turnaround that doesn't really do anything, you will be sent into the drop off the first turnaround that delivers extreme ejector airtime to all back row riders. Skipping the next turn, you will be sent to another turn which feels similar to a wild mouse turn. Then you will be sent to face with one of the most insane ejector airtime moments on any roller coaster, the drop off the mid-course. This drop off the mid-course delivers insane ejector airtime to all back row riders. Then you will be thrown into more dips that have extreme airtime. Then you will go into the turnaround out of the first turnaround, which will glue you to the side of your seat from the laterals. Then you will be sent into, you guessed it, another airtime hill. Then you will be sent into the helix, which delivers insane laterals. These are by far the most intense laterals that I've experienced. Now we'll go into the most intense roller coaster I've ever ridden. I believe that the most intense roller coaster that I have experienced is, it's X2, okay? It's freaking X2. One thing that comes to mind when I think about this ride: how is this ride legal? This ride is so insane from start to finish. First, you will lay backwards while letting go of the lift hill. Then it rotates you face first to show you the extreme first drop, which makes my stomach drop more than any roller coaster I have ridden. Then it flips you 360 degrees and sends you backwards again. Now, the bottom of the first drop feels very similar to Tatsu's pretzel loop because you're in a similar motion, being pressed into your seat from the positive G's while lying on your back. Then, after you're in a regular flying position, you have the sheer speed driving this entire element, which is extremely disorienting. When you go through the airtime hill after the first Raven turn, it flips you 360 degrees, which gives you that feeling you will fall out. Skipping the scenic turnaround, when you twist while rotating to be on your back going backwards again, it feels like it is trying to throw you into the road nearby. Then you will be thrown into the final Raven turn face first again. At the bottom of the Raven turn, it will bang your calves violently, which is intense and kind of painful. Then the right end. I can definitely see how this is considered to be the most intense roller coaster sometimes. Even though it is rough on the final Raven turn, this is a very enjoyable and smooth roller coaster. That was my list on the most intense roller coasters I have ever ridden. This is my opinion, and you may disagree. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel to see more content and to help the YouTube algorithm recommend my videos. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.